So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Entrepreneurship Drive. Today, we are going to discuss about strategy, and specifically for businesses that are SMEs. Today, we have Patrick Wameyo, who is an entrepreneurship coach. Before we continue, please subscribe to our channel. I'm giving you a few moments to be able to do that. So thank you, Patrick, for welcoming us to your place. And the most important thing when I'm thinking about strategy, I'm thinking about where vehicles came from. And we have, before vehicles, we had horses, which developed into carriages that carried people around. And after that, we had Henry Ford coming in with the Model T, which was a black vehicle, box-like, that was uniform for everybody. Then the people from General Motors, so that people needed variety, needed color, needed comfort, needed different shapes. And after that, we had the Japanese coming. They saw that the most important thing that people needed were fuel, economy, and movement from one place to another. Despite the fact that there is comfort, and safety features, those were not a key element that they were were focusing on. So, from your point of view, Patrick, what is the strategy?
Strategy is really the way a business differentiates itself in a competitive market space, so that its bundle of products and services could then meet the unique needs, like you said in your intro, of the customer segment. You would only make sense in a market when you segment it, because whereas there are people who really want safety and don't worry about their pocket, there are things they need in the car that perhaps Ford didn't take care of, that perhaps even the General Motors didn't take care of, that perhaps even Toyota didn't take care of. And that is now the reason another player like Chrysler would come in and bring a completely new car just intended for very few people whose pockets are deep. So it's not just because they can afford a lot more, but there's a value that is being added for them that they can also afford. They need it and they can afford it. So for a business to survive and thrive, we go beyond survival and thrive, then it has to have a significant market size. Now, strategy is basically the way that business approaches a market segment and differentiates how they are served so uniquely from the wider market. It has lots of components. It might start from as little as Ford, where you are discussing the primary product. But then when you offer that product, if you will offer it as a bundle of services, it could be just the product or the product plus. Now, the plus differentiates the users of the basic product from the users of the product with the additions. And these additions come with an extra cost. So you're going to have to look for people who can afford that extra cost. So you might end up with a product level differences in strategy, or a business segment level differences in strategy, or even a national level differences in strategy. There are cars that are being manufactured or being assembled for Kenya. They have very unique features. Still a Mercedes-Benz, but the features take account of the Kenyan roads or the East African roads. So if you compare a Mercedes-Benz for our roads and a Mercedes-Benz for Singapore, they are very different, but it's still a Mercedes-Benz, still giving you all the benefits of a Benz. So strategy can play at very small levels and at very macro levels. That's how I would put it. On a much bigger scale, the entire totality of the business, both in terms of the processes, the activities, how the resources are organized to deliver the so-called value being proposed, how you take the product to the market, so-called channels, and even how you acquire and maintain them. The totality of that would have to be significantly different. And small pockets of what is called strategy will then create that combined effect.
What makes it important for a small business to have a strategy? Because there is a trend in the market whereby you find businesses just beginning because you've seen your friend selling clothes, is in an industry that is dealing with agriculture or whatever the sector is. Guys will be, I want to dive in. But what makes it important for them to think about a strategy as they progress on that line?
The moment we are all doing a similar business, similar in all aspects, we are basically sharing the same customer segment. So what it means is that if more and more of us come in, 100 or 1,000 customers for one person at the beginning, or for one business at the beginning, when we are now 10, we'll be down to 100. The difference will be how close the product is to you geographically. So you are buying from someone because they are nearer to you. You know, there has to be some conveniences. Why travel 5 kilometers to buy what I can buy one kilometer away? So what would make someone go 5 kilometers and leave the product that is here 1 kilometer? It is the difference in the package. What extras do I have? People who shop don't buy one thing. When they walk into a supermarket, for example, they want to find the entire variety of goods that they want. So a supermarket that doesn't give them variety, they just pass it. So they drive the next where they can get as many of those goods in one shopping, as opposed to do multiple shoppings, shop in this one for three items, go to the other. There's what we call the cost of doing things. So for a small business, it is so important that they capture what you can call a substantial market size as early as possible to break even, and then to produce something extra, what you call profit, to be able to survive. So if you're starting and the next time your neighbor comes in and repeat exactly what you're doing, they take away a few customers. Even if you had broken down, you are going back to a place where you can't cover your costs. So for a small business, key reason for differentiation is being able to capture a significant market size as early as possible to break even and make profit, even before they can introduce depth in terms of products and services and augmentations that could make the client now stick better.